Hey, this is ThinkerThunker. Here we are in Colorado in this clip, and we have an alleged Bigfoot hit by a car and now chasing that car. So stick around. We are definitely going to take a closer look at this. Okay, so as the story goes, a woman sent this in to a YouTuber called The Paranormal Review. Go check out the original on their channel. And the woman said she and her husband were driving late at night. They thought they hit a deer. They backed up to make sure it wasn't a dog or a person, and I'm not even going to delve into how they made the leap from deer to dog or person. Anyway, then they captured what they felt could be a Bigfoot. So she's using her cell phone to film her car's backup camera monitor, and of course it's at night, so it's really a worst case scenario. It's about as bad as footage could look, but what's she going to do? It's all she had. So I'm glad she even did this. And you know, who walks around with a state-of-the-art camera, state-of-the-art lens, ready to film in a second's notice 24/7? Nobody. That's who. Okay, so the first thing I did was stabilize it so we could get a better look. There we see that. Now I'm going to just let this run a time or two. Okay, here it is again, zoomed in a little bit this time. Okay, the first few times I saw this, I thought this black mass here was the big guy in question, and it got up and took off hauling ass towards the car, but now I'm not so sure. I mean, this is so blotchy and pixelated, and now I've zoomed way in, and so that's making it really even worse. So I can't tell if this thing is already running as it comes on the screen or not. So I'm just going to keep scrubbing through one frame at a time until we know for sure it's on screen. Still. Okay, I think I'm seeing something right there now. And see, it looks like it's already up and running. Just going to keep scrubbing forward. Man, I can't tell. Scrubbing forward. Okay, that's it for sure. So I'm going to go back just a little bit, watching right here. And now I'm going to start forward again, watching right there. And I just cannot tell if it was laying there and got up or if it just came on the screen at a full run. Who knows? Anyway, here he comes, arms flailing. And I've seen in comments where people said, no, this is ridiculous. No Bigfoot would run like that with its arms flying and flailing and about. And where do you get that kind of information? You know, where is that written on how Bigfoots run in any given situation? I would like to see that. All right, so we really have nothing for scale here. No road signs or identifiable markers, except for the road. So we're going to use that, and I'll zoom in just a little more. So here I've got a marker for the road, and I'm going to draw, hang on. I'm going to draw a line now for the approximate height of this guy, and we can see his legs are bent. It's hard to know if I'm getting him at full height, but we'll just go with this. Now I'm going to lay that down on the road. And so there we can see that whoever or whatever this is longer than half the road. So the question is, how wide is this road? Now, if the road is only 9 or 10 foot wide, well, that's a pretty narrow road, isn't it? And that would make this guy really about an average height. But if this road is 11 foot, 12 foot, that would make this mark here in the center be 6 foot. So that would put him well past in the 7 foot plus range. So all we can do is guess at this point until these nice people, this couple, please, if you guys would, in the daytime, go back out, try to find the same spot and measure the paved part of the road here and videotape it so that we can see that and post it. And then we'll go from there. But what if, just what if, it's more than 12 foot, 13, 14? That now makes this guy a giant. But again, we just don't have any way of knowing yet. Another thing for scale, I'm going to drop in a blurry LeBron James. Blurry to prove that we can tell where shoulders are and elbows and major joints, even if it's blurry. So LeBron, we know he's a big guy, and we have still no idea how big this guy is, so I've just scaled them to the same size. And the first thing here, I'll drop on a little outline over the big furry white guy, and the first thing you notice, look at the head. I mean, that is a massive head. And so if this is a big costume head, man, that is some pretty good sprinting at night with a giant costume head on. Would you do that? And now look at the mass of these arms and the shoulder. And if you say that's a costume, okay, well, what about this hand? I mean, look, compare the two hands. Is that a giant, massive costume hand as well? I mean, at some point, we're gonna have to start seeing at least one of these costumes. You know, once in history, somebody please come forward and demo how these costumes work and how you can sprint at night in them and run and jump and do all this stuff. And also, look at the mass of that leg. I mean, it's gigantic. LeBron, we see he's got big baggy shorts on. Still, they're not as big as this leg. And if this is a baggy costume, you know, we're not seeing any folds, anything like that, that's solid. And if we drag LeBron over, I mean, look how small he is in comparison. And this other guy is not standing straight up. He's running. So if we use LeBron for scale, I mean, we know he is 6'8". He normally towers over most people. So we'll get him up there a little bigger. Maybe, I don't know, maybe about like that. And now, see how much of the road he takes up. I mean, he's a big guy, LeBron, but surely he can't all but lay over and cover a road. You know, that would make this road really narrow. And with LeBron scaled up this much, still, if you compare them about shoulder to shoulder, you can see this guy, the white fur guy's arms are almost as long, and he's running here. That arm is clearly well back behind him. So if it was to his side, extended, fully extended like LeBron's is, it could be as long or longer. And so here's where skeptics would say, well, that's because this guy, his monkey suit came with arm extensions. And I'll say this again, there is no such thing as arm extensions. You can't put something on your arm to extend your arm and make the upper arm longer. You can only extend the forearm. So look, we can see these arms are clearly bending, and we can see that the forearm looks appropriate to the length of the upper arm. And if this were a forearm extension, then the forearm would look way out of ratio. It would be much longer. It would look much too long for the upper arm and the chest and everything else. So these forearms RN ratio. Those are not forearm extensions. So if this is a guy in a monkey suit, he appears to be at least pretty large. I mean, look at his shoulders there. Still, with the LeBron scaled up, his shoulders are still wider. And so if this is a human wearing a monkey suit and shoulder pads and a big giant head, he's got really long arms for his body, making him one of the rarest people on the planet. And he deserves an Academy Award or something for putting on all of this stuff and getting out there and running like a fool, sprinting on a dark road at night. If you can do that, or if you'll do that, please put all that stuff on, show us what one of these suits would look like, and film yourself with all that on, sprinting down a road at night. I'd love to see it. So there you go. That's all I've got. Your time to weigh in. How wide is that road? And hey guys, over 5 million views now. Thank you all so much. And over 25,000 subscribers. That's just incredible. I never expected anything like that. So thank you everybody for helping make this channel a success. Take care.